One, two, 1, 2. Is this thing even on?
Okay, I'm not falling for it. Like, sorry, like, I am better, I am wiser, I am smarter, I do love myself. Chinese are rocking my shit. They are bitch slapping me. Any this data is cannot be my life. This cannot be my life. Looking back at your teen years, right? Also, like when I look back at like 16-year-old me, I'm like, girl, say this, don't aid in a bit in life rocking your shit by being mean to yourself when you make mistakes. Welcome back to Off the Dome with Chaos or Kayozzee, however you want to pronounce it. Guys, let's talk about consistency. This is my second week uploading in a row. Yes. Yeah, I'm back, guys. I'm back. Yeah, tell your friends to tell your friends she's back. Woo! And to start off this video, we'll talk about resolutions from last week's episode. There is no resolution, guys. There is no resolution. Also, given the fact that we are in a retrograde, I don't think I should be taking any decisions in my love life right now. I don't want to be acting erratically. I don't want to be acting on impulse. I don't want to be acting, period. I'm just going with the flow. Okay, wherever the current is taking me, I shall be there until further notice. And oh my gosh, why are people that are considered like my exes, why are you guys hitting me up? Stop. Like, stop. I'm not falling for it this time, okay? I'm not falling for it. Like, sorry, like, I am better, I am wiser, I am smarter, I do love myself more. I'm not falling for it this time. Like, I'm not falling for you guys' tricks this time, okay? On this week's episode, we will be talking about being in your 20s. Will there be anything inspirational or aspirational in this video? Perhaps, probably I will spit a ball too in this, I hope. But I've been in a very thoughting space regarding my 20s, and I've been coming to terms with a lot of things, and I will be getting into that in this video. The situation is my 20s are rocking my shit. Yep, my 20s are rocking my shit. They are bitch slapping me. Any opportunities my 20s get to bitch slap me, they bitch slap me. Like, I've been in so many situations where I'm like, this dead ass cannot be my life. This cannot be my life, right? And here's my thing, right? Like, firstly, here's the thing. In life, you're going to go through traumatic things, and I am of the personal belief that traumatic things don't make you resilient. Like, traumatic things are traumatic things that happen, and they're traumatic things, and that's what they are. Like, I'm not in the business of romanticizing trauma and being like, yeah, now you're resilient because you win. You could have built resilience without going through this traumatic thing, right? When I talk about hard things in your 20s, I'm talking about like the natural cycles of reconstruction and deconstruction of self, like the natural cycle of making friends, losing friends, thinking you have everything figured out, and then everything collapsing, the constant state of your mentality changing and what you want out of life changing, and then the next thing, you don't know what you want out of life, full stop, because you are constantly changing what you want out of life. You trying to understand what does life want from me, right? Like, these things are really, really hard. Like, and you that was just me silently screaming. Like, genuinely, like, being in your 20s, I see why a lot of people turn to like substance and alcohol abuse in their 20s, because this shit will rock your shit. Like, you will lose your mind trying to figure out what's going on in your mind, right? On top of it, you are in uni, you need to romance, friendships, maybe have a job. Now you're balancing uni, your job, friendships, this and that, or maybe you're already working. Now you need to try to figure out finances, SARS, hele, this and that, black text, this, that, the third. Oh, I want to go out. Oh my gosh, this cute bag. Do you understand what I was saying? Like, what the fuck? Genuinely, like, I'm gotten to the point where I I'm no longer fighting against the current, right? So long in my life, because of I'm like such a very stressed out person, so like anxious, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen in the future type of person, that I hyperfixate to the point where like it makes me ill. Like it literally makes me sad about my future, and like it's dark. I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, right? Because I am pushing against the current. Like I am fighting against the current, right? Your 20s are going to be hard. You're going to be figuring shit out every single day of your life, being your 20s, because that's what your 20s are literally for, right? Because you grow up, right? A child, you grow up, you get into your 20s. Now you're thinking about like all the things I've learned growing up, like religion, like my beliefs about the world, my sexuality, so on and so forth. Like you start questioning that shit. You start thinking about like, is that really me, or is that just what I've been conditioned to be? And that's really fucked. Like that is such a difficult position to be in, while also trying to be a functioning member of society. Like when my dad passed away, I really realized that, oh my gosh, life really moves on. Like life really moves on. Like those assignments are still due. Like that test is still around the corner. Like yo. And that's the thing about like life in general. Like you could be literally going through like for example, right, when you change from different version of yourselves, right, you don't just go from version A to version B, right? There's a period in time where you discover that version A is no longer aligning with your life, and you start losing yourself, right? You start feeling you start disconnecting from that version of yourself, right? And you find yourself in a state of like limbo and purgatory, where you don't really understand what the fuck is going on in your life. You don't understand yourself. There's like a disconnect between you and yourself, and like because you're basically collapsing that version of yourself, right, and trying to figure out version B, right? And then now you start building up version B, and do you get what I'm saying? And then you get to version B, right? This portion in life is really such a terrible place to be in. Like it's a very scary place even to be in, because like the thoughts that you be thoughting sometimes are really crazy, like really, really, really crazy. Like for instance, me personally, I into such a state of like derealization when like I'm shifting between versions of myself. Like I really be like, am I really alive? Like what the fuck? Like genuinely, because I feel so out of touch and out of place with the current self that that I'm in. I don't know if that makes sense, but like it sucks. Like it genuinely sucks. And like here's the thing, right? Like once you like hit 30, it doesn't mean like these ebbs and flows and cycles in your life are gonna end. But like it when you hit 30, I feel like you have better footing, right? Like you have better footing. You've had like such an extensive time to figure it out, right? Even if when you get into your 30s you don't have it figured out, but you have so much more to reference, right? Because from like you growing up from like a baby to like a teen, like you are like conditioned, right? Like it's basically you are growing in conditioning, right? It's not necessarily you making your own choices and you following your own thought processes to get to certain conclusions, right? You are fed these things, right? So like you in your 20s, like you can't really look back at that, because a part of you is going to be like, is that really me, or is that just programming? Is that just socialization? Like it's really murky. Like that is really murky, right? And you could find out like in your 30s that like the things that you believed when you were like 16 are the things that you in your 20s you went through that and that, to just find out that, oh, I actually do believe in that, right? It wasn't just socialization, right? But when you're in your 30s, you look back at your 20s, right? Where you had independent thought, right? Where you were thinking for yourself and you were making the decisions for yourself, right? And you were putting yourself in certain environments to learn certain things, right? Around certain people that influenced you in certain ways, right? You made those choices, right? So it's like, I feel like people be like, oh my gosh, like 30s are so old. I feel like that's like really the beginning of your life in your 30s, right? Because you get to use yourself as a point of reflection, and as like a point of, you know, and like looking back at your teen years, right? Also, like when I look back at like 16-year-old me, I'm like, girl, I feel sad for her. Like, I can't even cap. Like, I feel really, really bad for her. And like, again, the thing about being in your 20s, right? It's not just about like growing, like, oh my gosh, you're just like growing in that period of your 20s, but then also like making peace with a lot of things that happened like in your childhood, in your teen years, right? That like may have like really negatively impacted you, or like negatively shaped you as a person. And like, you have to come to terms with those things and how those things impacted you and affected you. And then you have to figure out like, how are these things playing a role in how I see myself and how I'm having relationships with people, and so on and so forth. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, your 20s are so like such a borderline a shit show, because it's just like you are figuring out so many things while being expected to be like a functioning member of society. Yeah. And the world keeps on spinning. Like, everything just keeps on going and going and going, and it doesn't matter. Like, it really does not matter what is going on in your life. That assignment is still due. That test is still around the corner. The exams are still coming. Your participation mark better make sense, right? No one is gonna be like, oh my gosh, like, I was going through an ego death, and people like, oh my god, Vinny, like, I'm so sorry, like, you can resubmit. None of that. And lastly, I'd like to say this: don't aid in a bit in life rocking your shit by being mean to yourself when you make mistakes, right? Don't help life in contributing to your turmoil by being mean to yourself, right? You fucked up, right? Learn from it, forgive yourself, and move on. Like, those are literally the only options that you have, quite frankly, right? Those are the only options that you have. Because if you beat yourself up but you don't learn from it, you're still gonna do it, right? And if you continue to learn from it but you continue to beat yourself up, you're going to be stuck in that moment and ruminate on that thing, right? And not move on with your life, which is just as bad, right? So please be kinder to yourself, right? With you acknowledging the fact that, well, personally for me acknowledging the fact that life is gonna rock my shit, like, life is gonna rock my shit, I've learned to be kinder to myself, right? Because it's just like, life is already gonna rock my shit. Why would I do that to myself on top of it, right? Like, learn from your mistakes, right? Take accountability, learn from your mistakes, forgive yourself, and move on. That's it, literally. Like, that's it. That's all that you can really do when you do fuck up in life and when you do make mistakes. All right, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this week's episode. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Like, please do comment. I feel like I'm talking to myself sometimes. Like, guys, please, like, guys, don't make me look crazy in front of these people. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Bye.